Welcome back, everybody, to Chapter 4 of Future Proofing You. I know I said I'm going to make these videos as short as possible and get straight to the point, but Chapter 4 has it's just so juicy. It's juicy, it's rich with information. So Chapter 4 the title of Chapter 4 is Embracing Failure as Part of the Journey. Now, the book's chapters each start with the quote, and it each starts with a little story, right? Oop. Get my little Dunder Mifflin. Anyways, the quote of this chapter is, "She was unstoppable, not because she did not have failures or doubts, but because she continued on despite them." Val Taplin. The small story that he uses is, so there was this young boat designer who was looking for a vacuum that sucks. And he bought one, but it wasn't working. It wasn't really sucking up the dirt. It was really just pushing the dirt. And so this person went to visit a sawmill and saw that it was using a cyclonic separator. And that as soon as it cut the sawdust, it removed the dust out the air, in an instant. So this person made 5,126 prototypes. And let me re-say this: 5,126 prototype. And on their 5,127th one, it made him 5 billion, a fortune of 5 billion. And this was the first Dyson that made James a billionaire. He saw a problem. He saw that this problem was global, right? I mean, a vacuum that doesn't suck. Who wants a vacuum that doesn't suck? That's what we buy, a vacuum, right? And it took him thousands of prototypes, and just thousands, just to actually make that one. And the good thing about that story was that his wife was with him the entire step of the way. Majority of the time, and she provided for him, she fed him, everything, right? That is just wow. To have that support, and then to finally after thousands of tries, hit that one that made you just a fortune. That's crazy. But this chapter is all about failures. So it gives a Japanese proverb that talks about Nana Korobi Ya Oki. It means fall down 7 times and get up 8th. Unfortunately, this concept isn't embraced in the Japanese corporate culture. And as soon as the CEO fails, they have to apologize in front of everybody. So this discourages people from trying. Imagine you're a CEO, if you do one bad thing, that's it. You're done. You're fired. No one wants to hire you. So this kind of failure isn't an option for these people. In Europe, they are risk adverse. Risk taking is often thought of as foolish and wasteful. I mean, that's so sad. Imagine living there and not have the ability to fail because you're so scared, because you're so scared of what people are going to tell you, or just scared, just a bunch of fear coming up. One of the countries that is working at the highest levels of government to change attitude towards risk and failure is Mexico. Semana Nacional de Emprendedor, or National Entrepreneurs Week. So Mexico is no. We need to find those who are capable and able of making something that will just change and make a difference, right? And they're pushing that. Since then, let's see. So to get over the stigma of having a failure, a group of friends in Mexico Cities whose startups have failed created Fucked Up Nights, FUN, with the motto, "We live life without filter." And that's absolute beauty right there. That's just beautiful. And has expanded over 320 cities, more than 90 countries, with more than 100,000 people attending each year. That's crazy. One country with a healthy attitude towards failure is Israel. That to me, that was whoa, what the heck, really? nickname, which is nicknamed Startup Nation. And as soon as they get the startups up and running, they try to come over to US, try to enter the IPO and try to just monetize even more on that. Companies as diverse as Mexico and Nike's, they acquire small Israeli companies. So even that's more of an opportunity, right? Like you go to a country, they're pushing you to fail, they're pushing you to do whatever you can possible to make something happen. And not just that, you're not just benefiting, you're not just profiting over there, but you have these other corporations like, hey, you know what? I'll just give you this money, buy it off of you, take it off your hands. Like imagine that. Then you're semi-set for the rest of your life. Like, dang. So the following 4 trips will help you embrace failure and propel yourself forward. So there's 4 approaches to embrace failure. First one is to be happy and successful. You need to love what you do. And this is something I couldn't agree much more with. You need to learn to love failure, right? So when you love something, it comes naturally. Simple as that, right? But when there's something that you dread, but you're forcing yourself, you're just pushing yourself to do this, or whatever that thing is, you're just gonna get tired, bored, and give up on it. And that's totally fine. That's totally fine. The main point about you as a person is to try. Just like Dyson, right? Just like this Dyson first vacuum. In order to try, you got to make those thousands prototypes in order to find what you're truly passionate for, what you truly love. The second one is stay confident. An extraordinary attitude will take you further than extraordinary talent. Again, it goes with the attitude. If you love something, that attitude is automatic. And to stay confident might be one of the hardest things, but when it's something you love, it doesn't become a hard task. It becomes like part of you, something you just love, natural. Well, shoot, I failed in this little part. Let me try this again. And it doesn't matter how many times you fail, because you love what you're doing, you're gonna try every other method to make your failure into a success. Number 3, learn coping techniques for moving on. And when failure stresses you out, there's a natural tendency to binge junk food or get mind-nibbling drunk, but instead there are healthy ways to cope with them. The key to getting over failure is to get it out of your system and move on. And number 4, don't give up because you failed. While failing, you have gained invaluable skills and knowledge that will make you more prepared the next time. Number 4 has been something that I had to learn the hard way. The reason why I say that is because when I would do something and I would fail, I would just move on and give up. An example I'll use is the gym, right? I was much skinnier than how I look in this video right now. Much skinnier. I look like bones. I look like a skeleton. Let's just put it that way. And I was trying to work out. I was trying to eat. I was trying all that. This small little advice my friends would give me because they were getting muscle. I would try. I would fail. Man, I just looked like Jack Skellington, except I just wasn't a king because I didn't have that confidence. But one year I said, you know what, let me just continue. Even though I kept not hitting my goal, watching other people grow bigger than me, watching other people just show signs much more quicker. I just, tried every little thing, changed my eating habits. I didn't give up because I was passionate in changing the way I looked for myself, not for others, not others how they perceive me, but because I wanted to change. I wanted to see myself excel in at least one thing in life, and working out was that. And the minute I found it, I was like, man, imagine all the things I gave up on way too early because I failed. I could have been much more farther in life. So that one accomplishment has reminded me constantly, like if I start something, finish it. If I'm not passionate for it, I don't have to finish it. Just push it to the side and find the next thing. So that guy, Jack Ma, he made a fortune of 46 billion and he failed entrance exams for 3 years. He was even turned down a job at a local Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurant. Bro, that really? AOC? I mean, dude, they hire anybody. I never worked at KFC, so correct me if I'm wrong, but still. KFC, come on, man. But yet, he created Alibaba Go. to a lot of people right now. Those who drop ship, those who resell. I mean, Alibaba, not only did he make himself a fortune, but he's helping other people do the same thing. And again, you see what he did there? He solved a problem, and it's global. Everybody, I mean, the United States isn't the only person that drop ships. I mean, aren't the only people that drop ship or resell. Larry Ellison, now the 10th richest person on the planet, he had to mortgage his home to keep Oracle afloat when no one believed in his vision. Ariana Huffington sold Huffington Post for more than $300 million, but she couldn't even make it as a writer. Walt Disney, Bill Gates, Abraham Lincoln, Lady Gaga, George Foreman, and Henry Ford all went broke before achieving greatness. That's insane. That's a lot of big names as well. Identify your customers, speak with them, find out what they do or do not like your product. These are ways to reduce your chances of failing. I mean, a lot of us are afraid to start what we want to start because of the idea of failing, and I'm one of them. But I've learned over time, and I've learned from the multiple books that I've read, that failure is something you're going to come across. But what makes you that best entrepreneur isn't you just failing, it's you picking yourself up after you fail and using that experience from your failures and turning them into either a solution or looking into them and studying them to find out what was the reason for your failure. And that's awesome. At 19.42 trillion, the US economy is 25% of the entire planet's gross world product. And what is driving this massive financial superpower? It's entrepreneurs like you starting small businesses. Imagine 19.42 trillion. That's crazy. That's more than $1 billion. That's more than 1 million. That's more than 1,000. And that's contributing 25% of this entire planet's gross. I mean, that itself should be like, hey, as a small business, there's $19.42 trillion out there for you, waiting just for you to take that extra step, waiting for you to take that leap of faith, waiting for you to go after that. When people say that excuse that there's no money in the world, there's 19.42 trillion circulating just for small businesses, just itself. 25% of the US economy, 25%. 25%, think about that. Where's the other 75%, right? If you don't know how you're going to make money, well, that's a charity, not a business. So if you're moping around being sad and I don't know how they're gonna make money, this guy straight out, he just says, well, go file your 501c3 nonprofit status with the IRS and raise donations. And you know what? I thought about that too. That's free money out there. So if that was supposed to be a burn, it really wasn't. It was more of an idea. And that's it. That is it. There's a lot more juicy stuff in this that is insane. I mean, and then to talk about Vin's, right? So Vin is his experiment. Vin, I'll just read it. Even with the time-consuming setback from the protein shake client, Vin's crypto marketing business continued to grow. He was so busy working on the agency, tinkering with the shakes campaign and planning for its growth hacking course, that until he had our end of the month mentoring, that he had the time to do his monthly accounting. The night before our last meeting of the month, Vin tallied the month's results and nearly fainted. With only 3 months into our challenge, Vin smashed through the mental barrier of earning 6 figures in a month. He created $103,494 in sales. To put that amazing accomplishment in perspective, Vin had earned in just 1 month enough to be in the top 10% of annual earnings for all Americans. So what had to happen was Vince just got mixed up in this idea of helping his protein shake just make money, right? Because he was going to see results back. So he was all into it. He was bringing clients. He was marketing like insane, but it was attracting people. It was attracting customers, but he just wasn't seeing the return. And even through all this work and effort he put into making this company known, it failed. And the reason why was because even though all that was success, his marketing, his drawing customers, him getting customers for this company, what failed him was he didn't try it. And when he did, it tasted like shit. I just didn't like it. But that kind of like opened his eyes, like, damn, at least what I'm doing is working. What I'm doing is working. So I'm not the problem. The problem was this protein shake. So he's like, you know what? Let me just do this for myself and what I know works. And damn, 103,000, that's crazy. But that's it. That's enough for chapter 4. Made it a little under 20 minutes, hopefully with the editing, and to go much slower. But thank you for watching this book club. Buy your book, learn more about the juicy details that this book has to offer. That was chapter 4. We'll be doing chapter 5. But don't forget about a little experiment. Don't forget about writing down your problems, your solutions, and going global with that. Remember TAM, T-A-M, and that's it. Thank you. Come on, join this book club. I'm guaranteeing you this is gonna help you. This is gonna future-proof you. But anyways, thank you for watching the show. Like, subscribe, and yeah.